back with chapter 14, which is called An Unexpected Companion. "What are you doing here?" Ash cried out. There, hunched over in the tiny space with his arms and legs folded, was an extremely grumpy-looking Tobu. He was far too big for the tent. "I'm your guardian," he replied, as though that answered everything. "You leaving the Fira does not release me from my duty and oath." "But what? How? When?" Ash couldn't believe what he was seeing. He thought he'd left his old life behind for good, and he'd made that big dramatic show of leaving too. He felt so stupid. Clearly, Toby was going to be as hard to get rid of as the smell of fire smoke on clothes. But perhaps this wasn't such a bad thing. Toby could provide invaluable out here in the wilds. "The fact you did not see me sneak aboard shows there is still much work to be done. You will continue your lessons. You will need them more than ever now that you're so short-sightedly joined a Pathfinder crew. Or maybe not. We shall remain aboard this sleigh until it arrives at Aurora," Tobu said, somehow remaining authoritative despite how squished he was in the tiny space. "But in Aurora we shall remain. You will be safe there. Pathfinders do not settle behind walls. They are forever in danger. You are not suited to that life." Ash let out a long groan. "I can't believe you're here. I have a plan, and I can tell you right now, it doesn't involve hiding behind any more walls." He dropped his pack and weapons on his bedroll and left the tent as fast as he could. Captain Nook was waiting outside, looking cheerful. Yori and his co-engineer were looking over too, eyebrows raised at all the commotion. It seemed tent walls didn't do much to block the sound of heated discussions. "Ah, you've been reacquainted with your Yeti friend, I gather," Nook trilled. "Why is he here?" Ash demanded. Tobu emerged from the tent and drew up to his full, imposing height. "Aren't you happy to see each other?" Nook said. Both Tobu and Ash grunted at this crazy idea. Nook beamed. "Can you feel the love, Yori? I think I can feel it." Yori laughed. "Oh, I feel it, Captain." "Well, you know what forms a bond like no other?" the captain asked. "Working together!" "Yes, indeed. I'll have you two so busy you'll be inseparable by the time we reach Aurora. Mark my words." Tobu made a dismissive gesture. "I have been giving the boy important survival lessons. They must continue. We have no time for menial work." The whole crew ground to a halt, the general chatter and hubbub ceasing. Luna winced, looking up from her maps. "I beg your pardon?" Captain Nook asked, a hint of danger in her voice. "The boy's training is more important than chores," Tobu confirmed. "Now that the secret is out about him being a song weaver, it's more important than ever that he is prepared for what he will face." Captain Nook smiled, but one eye was doing a strange twitchy thing. "Oh, I see. Well, that's just fine then, isn't it? I'm so glad you boys could join us for such a pleasurable cruise. What I should have said was," in a flash her smile turned into a furious frown, "who in a frostbeard's frostbitten frumpus do you think you are, coming aboard my sleigh and telling me what you will and won't be doing? Give me one good reason not to make you walk the plank and feed you to the Leviathans." "We have a plank?" Luna asked, surprised, eyebrows raised. Nook paused, looking thoughtful. "As a matter of fact, no, we don't. I've been meaning to get one. However, Master Pod, please make a note. Must buy a plank at the next market." "Noted, Captain," Master Pod called from the helm. Nook massaged her temples and sighed. She poked a big finger into Toby's broad chest. "Everyone, and I mean everyone, works on my sleigh. There will be no free rides here. Is that not correct, Master Pod?" "There are no free rides here, Captain," Master Pod called over. Toby looked taken aback. He was not used to being spoken to like this. Like Ash, most people were wary, if not outright terrified of the hulking Yeti, and while Captain Nook was large, Tobu still towered over her. This did not seem to bother her one bit. She faced Tobu and wagged her finger at him as though he were a naughty child. Ash would have laughed if Nook had not been so frightening. "The last time I checked, I was still captain on this sleigh, Tobu." She emphasised his name for effect and jabbed him in the chest again. "Well, what's it to be? Are you going to play by my rules, or will you be walking back to the Fira stronghold?" Tobu's nostrils flared. Ash could see the whites of his eyes and braced himself, ready for whatever monstrous reaction Tobu was about to unleash. The crew held their breath. Finally, Tobu breathed out and grumbled. "I did not mean to offend. I will work for my passage, of course." Ash gaped. "Captain?" Captain Nook reminded him. "Captain," Toby finished. "Good." Nook clapped her hands together, cheerful as anything once more. "But what am I going to do with you both? A warrior and a song weaver? This puts me in quite a pickle. You see, There are no attackers for you to defend us from, dear Tobu, and no Leviathans that need soothing, Ash, dear boy. Just as she said this, a thunderous roar echoed across the plains. Well, not just yet, at least. And you can't pay your way just standing there looking all brooding and mysterious. I would hate for you two to get bored. She scratched her whiskered chin, deep in thought, and then snatched her fingers. I have just the thing! Nook reached into an open barrel and pulled out 2 dirty mops, which she shoved into Ash and Tobu's hands. Tobu squirmed. You can't. Surely not. A mop. But... Ash began, stopping when Nook gave him another dangerous look. I do not think you want to go down that path, do you, Ash, my dear? Not like your brute of a guardian here, eh? No, Captain. Excellent. Looks like you have learned a lesson from Tobu today, after all. Well, my poppets, don't let me keep you. Ash looked at the mop and the size of the decks. He let out a low groan. End of chapter 14.